If you're looking for a quick and classic bake, look no further than the chocolate chip cookie. One of the best recipes is the original Nestle Tollhouse chocolate chip cookie recipe, and it can be found on the back of the semi-sweet chocolate chip morsel package. Now there's only so much room on back of this package, only enough for the recipe itself, but not enough space to include other helpful baking tips and tricks. In this video, I'll work through the Nestle chocolate chip cookie recipe and give some helpful guidance along the way so that your chocolate chip cookies bake up perfect every time. I grabbed a package of semi-sweet chocolate chips from the grocery store. There's a variety of these morsels available, but I really prefer the semi-sweet ones, and that's what I'll be using in this video. We'll need all-purpose flour, baking soda, salt, butter, granulated sugar, brown sugar, eggs, vanilla extract, and of course our Nestle morsels. Chopped nuts are listed as an optional ingredient, so I'll be skipping those this time. There's also guidance for high altitude baking under the flap. Follow these instructions if you live in an area that's high above sea level. We're going to need some measuring cups, measuring spoons, and a couple of bowls. You can use a stand mixer, but I'm going to use my KitchenAid hand mixer for this recipe. We'll also need some parchment paper and some cookie sheets. I have a couple different sizes and you'll see why later. Let's preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I have a smaller stainless steel bowl and a larger stainless steel bowl. In the smaller bowl, I'm adding 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Let's whisk these together to combine. In the larger bowl, I add 2 sticks of butter. Now, the butter needs to be softened enough so that when you press it, it leaves an indentation. Don't allow your butter to get to room temperature because it will be too soft. I follow this with 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. Next, I will be adding 3/4 cup of brown sugar. The recipe calls for packed brown sugar, and this is what packed brown sugar looks like. It's physically packed tightly into the measuring cup and holds its shape when it's placed into the bowl. This is what unpacked brown sugar looks like. See how it extends beyond the top of the measuring cup? If your recipe calls for packed brown sugar, which is typical, you never want to scoop out the brown sugar and place it in with the other ingredients like this. Always make sure that it is packed down into the measuring cup. I only added 1/2 cup of brown sugar here when I need 3/4 cups, so I'm adding another 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar. Next, we add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract to our bowl. Next, I'll use my hand mixer on low speed to begin to mix the ingredients together. The mixture starts out very chunky. We want the mixture to become creamy, so this will require us to mix for about 3 minutes, possibly up to 5 minutes. If your packed brown sugar continues to be packed as you're trying to mix it with your mixer, take some time to break it up with a whisk or fork before proceeding. Again, the mixture started out very chunky, but now you can see that it's starting to smooth out a bit. I want to take a minute to give a shout out to a friend of mine whose daughter really enjoys baking chocolate chip cookies. They inspired me to make this video for all of you, so thank you. Now you can see that our butter, sugar, and vanilla mixture is nice and smooth when gently pulled with a spatula. It's no longer chunky. Next, we'll add 1 egg and use the hand mixer to mix until it's fully combined. Then we'll add the second egg and also mix until it's fully combined. Next, we're going to add the flour mixture into the bowl with the butter, sugar, vanilla mixture. We need to do this gradually, so I add about 1/4 of it to the bowl and combine them with my hand mixer. We'll mix until the flour is combined, and then we'll add the second part of the flour mixture and repeat the same steps. You can see that the dough is really starting to form now. Add more of the flour mixture. And finally, we'll add the last of the flour mixture. Now, when the dough gets to this step, it is very, very important not to overmix it. I prefer to use a hand mixer instead of a stand mixer when I'm making chocolate chip cookies. This way, I'm less likely to overmix the dough. Once the flour has been fully incorporated, we can stop mixing. This recipe requires us to use the entire bag of morsels, but I'm actually going to separate about a quarter cup of morsels into a separate dish, and you'll see why later. I pour half the remaining morsels onto our cookie dough and use my silicone spatula to gently fold the morsels into the dough. It's important not to use a hand mixer for this step because, again, you don't want to over mix the dough at this point. We only want to combine the chocolate chips into the dough. Now I pour in the remaining morsels and fold into the dough. Next, I'll take my smaller non-stick cookie sheet and scoop about 1 tablespoon of dough and place it onto the cookie sheet. The dough is really sticky at this point, but I'm following the directions on the package. Also, don't try to come for me in the comments. I have washed my hands thoroughly and these cookies are for my house. Again, the dough is sticky, so if you're uncomfortable with that, you may certainly wear gloves for this step or simply use a cookie dough scoop. Now I'll bake these cookies at 375 degrees for about 10 minutes. While those 6 cookies are baking, I'm going to show you a trick. Let's repeat the same process of scooping the dough, but I'm going to place it onto a plate instead. I portion the dough exactly like I did for the first cookie sheet. This part is being sped up for the sake of time, but if you're enjoying this video, please take a second to hit the like button. Now that the plate is full, I'm going to chill my cookie dough in the freezer for about 15 minutes. My first batch of chocolate chip cookies are now fully baked, and I place the entire sheet on a cooling rack for about 2 minutes. Straight from the oven, you can see that these cookies are quite brown on the bottom. Once they've cooled down a bit, I remove each cookie from the cookie sheet and place them onto another rack to cool completely. The bottom of each cookie is nice and brown. We are going to bake more cookies, but we're going to do a few things differently. First, we're going to use some parchment paper to line our second cookie sheet. Next, we're going to remove our cookie dough portions from the freezer. As you can see, they're no longer sticky and much easier to handle. I'm going to place 8 portions onto this cookie sheet, making sure that they're evenly spaced. Next, let's grab the dish of morsels that were saved earlier, and I'm going to gently press individual morsels into the tops and sides of each cookie portion. Now, I bake these cookies for approximately 10 minutes. Once they're done baking, let's place them onto a rack to cool for 2 minutes. Notice that the bottoms of these cookies aren't as brown as the cookies baked directly on the non-stick cookie sheet. Once they've cooled a bit, we'll also remove them from the parchment paper and place them onto a separate rack to cool completely. Notice how the bottoms are nicely baked but aren't too brown. When we compare the tops of the cookies, we can see how adding individual morsels to the cookie dough right before baking really makes the chips stand out. When comparing cookies of the same size, we can also see that the bottoms of cookies baked on top of the parchment appear to be slightly lighter and more evenly baked. Once all of the cookies are baked, they are transferred to a cute cake stand. I was able to get 28 cookies from this recipe. They were pretty tasty, so they didn't last long. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button below, share it with a friend, and consider subscribing to my channel for more baking and cake decorating related content. A special shout out to all of my channel members, and to you, thanks for watching.